Eric, these people who were there in history at the same time that you were there in history, I understand that there's a bit of bad blood there, or, you know, they don't necessarily want to talk to you. But it seems to me that it's kind of crucial to get these people on record.
Yeah, they won't do it. Dr. Peterson told them not to say anything, so they won't.
So who, besides yourself, who has tracked them down?
Alicia, and at the Cimarron Research Symposiums, a lot of these people show up. Yeah, so they are right there. You can walk right up to them and ask them what happened. And when Dr. Unger, Elizabeth Unger, Chief of CDC Investigations in the CFS for the CDC, was there, I told her this story. And I said, there's the pastor who lives at the top of the bad zone. Ask him. Walk across the room and ask him. He won't volunteer it because Dr. Peterson told him to keep his mouth shut. But if you go up there and ask him, he probably won't deny you this information. Here's another person who lived on Peepside, just almost across the street from me. Ask them, ask them. She wouldn't do it. Huh?
Why are they showing up at the Cimarron conferences?
Because they want to support Dr. Peterson's endeavor to prove this is a viral illness. And they told me, you are an interference. You are trying to derail Dr. Peterson's projects. Okay. I'm going, look, I'm an HHV6A survivor. I don't deny it. I agree that this virus is part of what made me sick, but there's no reason to refuse to acknowledge the other evidence that was so clearly documented. That's not science.
So if Dr. Unger had gone up to them, what would she have asked them, and what would they have responded?
I told her what to ask. Was there a bad zone at the top of Village Boulevard? Is it true that the members of your congregation got sick while the churches off at a distance on Mount Rose Highway did not? Is this not a clue for environmental causes? Why is it that there was such a powerful cluster, a strong cluster of people all around Village Boulevard when you go just a mile east or a mile west and the number drops off to 0? I mean, and this is in the newspapers. It was in Newsweek. It's in Osler's Web. It was in the documentary, I Remember Me. I'm not making this up. People like Gerald and Janice Kennedy, they described it. And how is it that the mold community, every time anybody gets sick anymore, they rush to go, even if mold isn't mentioned, they go, oh, I'll bet that must be mold. I'll bet it's in their house. The speculation is rampant. Rumors run wild. But they never do this when they read about the original chronic fatigue syndrome cohort being sick in sick buildings. Why do these eager beaver people so, dedicated to solving other people's mysteries read this famous incident? Don't speak up, don't say a word. Is it because some researchers already decided, well, chronic fatigue syndrome is viral, so we won't speculate that because it's already been settled?
History has already been written.
Yeah, Dr. Cheney, in one of the newspapers, he said the reason for the clusters is the sick buildings. It's the sick building syndrome. And the reason why Incline Village High School did not have a cluster, even though it was right on Village Boulevard, was due to it being a new building with large windows and good ventilation.
The written version of history just needs to be replaced with the true version of history, basically.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be difficult to do. I mean, if it was just my opinion, you go, oh, yeah, he's just spouting nonsense. But this is all in the newspapers. It is so well documented that you can watch videos about it. But their anger at me is so great over undermining Dr. Peterson that they won't admit to any of these environmental clues.
And yet, in terms of the history of everything that happened, there's really only one person who's written about this, and that was a different version, and we've spoken about that in the past. But there's Are there many other books? Has anyone else looked into the history?
Sure. Did I show you the book, The Incredibly Unfortunate Skull Valley Incident by Don
Oh,
Scott?
yes. Yep, I've got that one. Yep.
Yeah, he's talking directly about Truckee High School, the Battle of Tahoe Truckee High School, and describes the incident with the teacher's lounge and the strange heating device that the mysterious workers installed.
If you go on Amazon or something, there's lots of books about chronic fatigue, obviously, but in terms of ones that actually mention Tahoe, there's like practically none.
Right, that's because everybody wanted to hijack the syndrome for their own agenda. The moment that 1986 article came out, where the first mentions of a chronic fatigue disease or chronic fatigue illness came out, people who were seeing the yuppie flu elsewhere glommed onto that, took it for their own, and said, well, I'm a CFS expert and I will provide all the answers. And I started contacting these people and I go, you don't know about the environmental clues. You don't know about the viral clues. You weren't present during the Holmes investigation. You are not a CFS expert. You just grabbed the name. You're using it for your own agenda. So this whole thing, all this confusion was driven by pure greed.